Ben Affleck. I watch in a movie, The Accountant, one of my favorite movies this guy's done. It's a freaking amazing movie. This guy, forget about his politics. He, in my opinion, whether you like it or not, I love the way this guy acts. Sometimes I don't think he's acting. I just think he's being himself, and he's tapping into challenges, upbringing, whatever he had. He gave an analysis. Have you seen this, Vinny, or
no?
not?
I haven't seen it.
Vinny, you have to see what he says. He gives a breakdown on AI going into Hollywood in ways I've never seen anybody explain, and just listen to the way he presents his argument, like a lawyer. Rob, go ahead and play this.
I want to, as we kind of wrap up here, I do want to come back to AI. Jerry, you mentioned it, but Ben, how did earlier? You guys weren't here. We did a demonstration. My colleague Andrew Sorkin and I recreated ourselves and our voices. How do you see it? I mean, is it a benefit or is it a real threat? Is it possible that a Netflix could say, we're going to do our own, James Bond thing out there with a bunch of actors that are completely recreated for this market or that market?
A, that's not possible now. B, will it be possible in the future? Highly unlikely. C, movies will be one of the last things, if everything gets replaced, to be replaced by AI. AI can write you excellent imitative verse that sounds Elizabethan. It cannot write you Shakespeare. The function of having 2 actors or 3 or 4 actors in a room and the taste to discern and construct that is something that currently entirely eludes AI's capability, and I think will for a meaningful period of time. What AI is going to do is going to disintermediate the more laborious, less creative, and more costly aspects of filmmaking that will allow costs to be brought down, that will lower the barrier to entry, that will allow more voices to be heard, that will make it easier for the people who want to make Good Will Huntings to go out and make it. Look, AI is a craftsman at best. Craftsmen can learn to, make stickly furniture by sitting down next to somebody and seeing what their technique is and imitating. That's how large video models, large language models, basically work. A library of vectors of meaning and transformers that interpret it in context, right? But they're just cross-pollinating things that exist. Nothing new is created.
Not yet.
Yeah, not yet. And really, in order to do that, look, craftsman is knowing how to work. Art is knowing when to stop. And I think knowing when to stop is going to be a very difficult thing for AI to learn because it's taste. And also, lack of consistency, lack of controls, lack of quality. AI for this world of generative video is going to do key things more. I wouldn't like to be in the visual effects business. They're in trouble. Because what costs a lot of money is now going to cost a lot less. And it's going to hammer that space, and it already is. And maybe it shouldn't take 1,000 people to render something.
There you go.
But it's not going to replace human beings making films.
Yeah.
It may make your background more convincing. It can change the color of your shirt. It can fix mistakes that
I
you made.
really like the way he's presenting it.
You might be able to get
Vinny, your thoughts on this?
First, Pat, that audio guy, horrible.
You know what I think it is? Delusion. Benjamin is delusional. And so is anybody who thinks that AI isn't going to take over. I mean, dude, that's what they always used to say. AI is never going to go after the creative stuff. It's first going to be all the craft jobs, and now it's switched around. Now he's saying all the craftsmen, and he's like low-key dissing craftsmen who are like in super high demand now. But anyway, I think AI is coming after every creative job, and that's the first thing that's going to go. I mean, let's be honest, design has gone, and that's creativity. Music has gone, and I know you guys are saying, there's still industries, whatever. Yeah, this is like when Kodak was saying, no, we're still the biggest camera manufacturer. Or Blockbuster was saying, we have so many stores. It's like you're just not reading the writing on the wall. It's already done. It's done for. Hollywood, I mean, for someone who's so arrogant like Ben, it's quite interesting that there was literally a strike just the other day, or a couple of months back, because of AI screenwriters. So please tell me, why would you strike if it's never gonna happen? That's so arrogant. I don't know. Sometimes I think these guys know it's gonna happen, but they're like, well, it's fine. We can just say it's never gonna happen, so we at least look like we're sort of the tastemakers or the smart ones, and it's gonna catch everyone else off guard, because some of these people are gonna get caught off guard. But anyway, creativity is just patterns. That's why creativity was the first thing to go. It's emotion is patterns. This thing of like, I'll never be able to redo emotion like Good Will Hunting. Well, let's be engineers and break it down. First principles. What's emotion? What's Good Will Hunting? It's this. It's a guy who's a genius, and it's like, just break it down to its basic points. You can always just keep breaking it down, and then AI can easily put those two together. Smart guy, bad life, bad friends, one friend who's kind of good, helps him out, good girl, psychologist. It's like all things you can do. And I mean, geez, replicate. I'll never be able to replicate the human things. That's the thing. This humanist point of view. To quote Larry Page, I'm just kidding though. I'm a human first. I'm Christian, but even I know like only the paranoid survive, as PVD said, and the quickest way to get swiped up, to get sideswiped, is to think you're too big to fail. Humans think we're too big to fail. Plus, we have this emotion itself. We have this subjectivity and this bias that, okay, anything else that's coming to replace us can't replace us. We think like just by saying, oh, that can never happen. We're too cool. We're too good. We're too intelligent. Like now, we already been replaced. It's already showing. It's already showing us. And all we have to do now is start actually adjusting and adapting to AI. Because trust me, ChatGPT was just there to give us a nice little preview of like just how replicable we are. Like intelligence, unfortunately, is not that special thing that we thought it was. The soul is, and the spirit is. That's God. That's connected to God, but not intelligence. Intelligence is just pattern recognition. The smartest people are the ones who are the best with the pattern recognition and the best at remembering patterns. So yeah, I mean, here's an experiment you can do. Go on your ChatGPT, do the advanced voice mode where you speak to it, and then speak to it as a shrink. I was doing this the other day because I saw this Better Health or Better Life, that app. I saw some other advert for it where it asks you a bunch of questions and then it tells you, okay, download the app and we'll do a personalized program. But then when I went and checked the reviews, it was like, no, this thing doesn't help. It just gives you like routines to do every day, which they don't really help with like trauma, childhood trauma, depression, anxiety. So I was like, you know what? Why don't I just go and do the ChatGPT voice thing and I tell it, hey, here's my issues, here's my trauma, and you must speak in the voice and position of a professionally trained psychologist or psychiatrist, and you must actually give me therapy, you must treat me. And it was like, sure. And then I told it, okay, well, this is what happened, whatever in my childhood. And then guess what it does? In a very simple, depending what I tell it, first it gives me an upbeat tone. Hey, okay, cool, yeah, sure, we can help you. Then I say, okay, well, I was bullied. Then it's like, oh, okay, I'm so sorry you were bullied. In an emotional way. So please tell me what's hard about emotion. I don't get it. Like, it's just patterns. It's patterns in speech, patterns in text, patterns in voice. It's ridiculous, man. Like, we think it's just words and speech pattern and then tone convey emotion, and those things are all replicable. So we think the whole thing, the whole package, we look at the whole package like, oh, Good Will Hunting as one big package. But Good Will Hunting is broken down into bits and pieces. That's why we're able to create an emotion. Otherwise this would be the argument then. No human can replicate an emotional moment of real life, because it's not real life. So there's no way I'm going to watch TV and feel the same I would about an emotional moment as I would in real life. But guess what? People can write it down, act it out. Why? Because it's pattern. So you can repeat the pattern. So for the sake that it can be done on a movie, means it's something that can be redone. Anyway, whatever. Yeah, Ben, sorry, man. You're disappointing me, because I'm mentioning Good Will Hunting because it's my top 10, and it's like, for me, him, especially with Matt together, tag team champions, that's my best, some of my favorite actors. But this certain part, on this specific point, delusional. Either delusional or he's manipulative and he just doesn't want everyone else to panic, or he's been given the mandate like just deny. Because it's like ridiculous to deny that. I mean, Hollywood is done for, not special effects. Before special effects, the screenwriting is going to be destroyed. Yeah. And these special effects like require like some kind of expertise, you know what I'm saying? It's not just something that anyone can do. These days, kids on TikTok are better actors than the stuff I see on Netflix. So it's like, yeah, that's all I wanted to say on that. It's definitely, don't be too precious about your ability to replicate intelligence. This is why we must fear God and like worship God as a creator, and also learn more about who we really are in the spirit, because you can see he's so attached to his identity. His identity is what? Hollywood, and the eliteness that comes with being a major Hollywood star. And he knows that as soon as as soon as we say, oh, that can be easily redone by a computer program, it sort of erases all of this grandeur and mysticism. Like, wow, these guys are like magicians, the way they're able to act. It's such a talent, you know. It's like, well, no, robot, I can do it with my phone. So now he's attached to that identity, but his true identity is child of God. That's an identity that you can't lose. If you're attached to that, you can be objective, be paranoid, and you can prepare for the worst. So that's the thing. And also another thing is, just on that, while I'm on that, I believe that the world is shaping up in a way now that Hollywood is going to be destroyed anyway, because if you see how the Trump election pretty much said to actors that, hey, listen, your voice is not as important anymore. I kind of believe that's sort of playing towards something greater, like a greater thing that's happening, which is the introduction of AI. Because I believe that it might have been done either knowingly by some more powerful people who actually see a bigger picture, or it's just the way that reality is moving. Because obviously, as I said, I'm a Christian. I believe that we're going towards something, which is the end times, which is revelations, which is like an acclamation, like a climax, which is like, yeah, this is not just going to keep, we're not just going to keep circling and circling and circling in a cyclical, time keeps moving in cyclical ways. But it's like we're headed towards something, and I believe the introduction of AI is coinciding with this what can I call it, disenchantment with Hollywood that people have had now, especially now that it's getting worse and worse. Because think about it, what's taking over that? If the Hollywood's voice is not there, is not important anymore as influencers, what's taking over? It's the normal person's voice, right? Because everyone has their channel, everyone has their own movie, everyone's a celebrity. But guess what? What's going to happen after that? Very soon, automation. So it's going to be like, instead of everyone having it, you know what? And that's happening right now, with all these freaking animal videos that are with the AI voice. You see, now you don't need people at all. Now everyone's just programming their computers to do stuff. So that's what's coming in, and that's why this whole Hollywood thing almost had to happen with the Trump election. If you want to look at it from a semi-conspiracy, bigger plan, bigger picture. So the more Hollywood losing its voice is not some like, oh no, they just happened to lose their voice. It's something like, okay, well, they could have just been paid to do it, which Kamala did pay them to do it. So that knowing that, okay, we've lost. Like they knew they lost even when they put her in, because at the end of the day, you can't give someone a couple months to win an election against someone like, Trump, who's pretty much an incumbent who just, narrowly lost the last one. But it's like, and also we knew that they know, but behind the scenes they had to have known they were losing, because everything was saying they were losing except the media, who of course we know belongs to the Democrats anyway. So I think everything that was done was sort of part of a bigger plan. But anyway, yeah. You can look at it like that, or just look at it in general terms of saying, yeah, Hollywood out, independence in, podcasts, all of these things. And then with that, people think that's going to be another 50, 60. No, give it another 5 years, and then it's going to be full AI running YouTube, Netflix, everything. Avatars, the ones language, whoever's good with language. And I'm talking about good with your English, not computer languages. English, like good with language, like you understand how to ask AI to do what you want, but ask it properly. You're gonna be the winners. Okay, cool.